and I've vetted it, and I've decided it's very suitable for today. And this has been written specially for Ben and Francesca by Jack Peters. Now, if I'm not very fluent, it's because it's handwritten, and I may struggle with some of the words. You were promised a day of unparalleled bliss. Just turn up, groom in tails, bride in white. A short service, a ring bearer, hymn books, a kiss. And then dinner and dancing all night. But to make it all happen is hardly a breeze. You're forgiven for feeling some stress. After all, there are so many guests to appease, and you can't spill red wine on your dress. So you'd fret despite months of intensive research that not all would go well on the day, that your guests will get lost on the way to the church, or you'd trip as you threw the bouquet. Will you have enough time to just sit down and chat? Will the best man drink too much champagne? Will there be a disaster with somebody's hat? Will the wedding rings fit? Will it rain? I exaggerate, surely you're both more relaxed than I'd ever be in your position, and have probably not been especially taxed with concerns about food or musicians. But tomorrow, when all your relations depart, you will no longer care about the weather. It's then that the best of the wedding will start, being happily married together. So I hope this is not the best day of your life, but a gateway to days better yet. Stepping into the future as husband and wife, once two soloists, now a duet. Big thank you to Jack for that. Now to my offering. Firstly, I'd like to offer Ben a very huge welcome to our family. Secondly, I'd like to thank Ben Elliott, my uncle, and Carol for taking such a beautiful service in a church that John Betjeman has apparently described as the most beautiful church in England. I'd also like to thank Renata and Sarah and the flower arranging team and all the kind people who've dropped in flowers and greenery. And I'd like to thank the drivers of all the old cars, John Churchill, Vicky and Phil Franklin and Andrew Cranfield, and Pippa Schofield and her catering team. Some of you have travelled a long way. Adrio and family from Berlin, Charles and Nasima from Bahrain, Donna, Ollie, Susie and Cordelia from America. But the prize for the biggest journey is Annette from Canberra, Australia. I'd like to spare a moment to remember my uncle and godfather Tom Elliott, who died very recently and who sounded so excited about the wedding the last time I spoke to him. He would have been particularly proud of his grandchildren, who made such lovely bridesmaid and page, and he'll be missed today. Recently said to my wife, never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be addressing such a large and impressive audience. What should I say to them? She replied, darling, how should I know? You're never in my wildest dreams. I'm certainly the first person to have seen Francesca when she came into this world, and I was the last one to see her leave spinsterhood. As I prepared this speech, I thought I would ask a few people for some adjectives that described her best. Granny, with customary crispness, said, kind, determined, but temperamental. Her other friends came up with artistic, beautiful, a loyal friend, funny and fun-loving. And that was the main consensus. But because I had asked 12 of them for 6 adjectives each, there were a lot of other words, including kind, honest, gentle, arachnophobic, caring, slow to anger, laid back, a creature of habit, scatty. An example of her scattiness was at St Mary's. She won the geography prize in the upper sixth. An achievement that was partly spoiled when a week later she said to me, "Dad, is Vietnam in Europe?" They also describe her as creative, bashful, gullible, calming, thoughtful, ridiculous, clumsy, lovable, vivacious, spirited, generous, adventurous, determined. Indeed, at Stourbridge, she won the cup for endeavour. She is headstrong, a legend, bubbly, chatty, exuberant. One friend did suggest that she sometimes has a rather short fuse. Her loyalty to friends is shown by the fact she is good at keeping up with old friends and is fortunate to still be in close contact with a group from her kindergarten. And I think half the girls in her kindergarten class are here today. She's certainly honest and has never minded speaking her mind. Age 3, she was having tea with Granny, who'd just returned from a still life drawing class. "Granny, I want to see your picture." A few minutes later, "Granny, why isn't he wearing any clothes?" "That is very rude, Granny." In the sixth form, she was overheard saying to one of her very academic friends, "Careers sound awfully boring. Wouldn't it be much more fun to get married and have lots of babies?" I doubt when she applied to Edinburgh University she was aware of its reputation as a matchmaking city, but it was a most suitable choice of university. A small capital town, a course that hardly interfered with the social life because there were never any lectures on Mondays or Fridays, and there were very few on the other days either. Ben and Francesca first met at a dinner party during their gap year 10 years ago, although Ben doesn't remember this. They then met again as freshers at Edinburgh, where they were both living in Chancellor's Court. I understand that Ben showed an interest from very early on, but for the first 6 years he was very patient and they were just friends. In their third year they shared a flat in Blenheim Place, Ben and 6 girls. Their relationship didn't develop until they were both in London, and about 4 years ago, Francesca commented to her mother that Ben made her laugh such a lot, she thought she might start going out with him soon.
Cheesy, Bill.
I remember meeting Ben very clearly. It was the 24th of November 2006. The reason I can be so precise is that it was Francesca's 21st birthday, and she had a drinks party in her flat in Edinburgh, and I had asked Renata whether she was ready to meet her future son-in-law. She'd looked at me as though I had a secret. In fact, I was simply commenting on the possibility, perhaps the probability, that she would marry someone from university. We played a little game, watching all the young men. Who would the lucky man be? What I do remember about Ben was him arriving late, clutching a box of home-baked brownies that he'd been cooking. And I thought, this man knows the way to my daughter's heart. Over the last 4 years, they've had holidays in France, Italy, Greece, Portugal, Kenya, Uganda, and then in Istanbul, more later. We've had the pleasure of getting to know Ben and seeing how easily he fits in with the family, both on his visits here and on holiday in Tuscany, where he thrashed us at Racing Demon every night.
Wow.
He's been out hawking and fishing with me, and it was on the way back from fishing last year that he very humbly asked whether he could propose to Francesca. I suggested he might as well do it when we got home, because I knew we had a bottle on ice. I knew that she would accept, and I also knew that the engagement card had been in a drawer for 2 years. But no, he preferred to wait until the end of the month and do it in Istanbul, in great style. I think most of you will have seen the picture of the two Cheshire cats taken about a minute after the proposal had been made and accepted. I don't normally look at Facebook, but I was asked to look at it 3 days later, and to my amazement, under this picture were 250 thumbs up. It either says a lot about Facebook or this couple's popularity. At a hen party, a group of 14 stayed recently near Chichester in a house with a swimming pool. It was a very hot day, and while they were sitting around the pool, a man appeared in a robe. He announced that he was an art teacher and also a male model. And after disrobing, all the hens drew a picture of him. And I do hope you'll show it to Granny. Any children of this match will come from a very wide gene pool of English, Welsh, Italian, German, American, and Russian descent. Ben and Francesca, your marriage has made Renato and I very happy. And I know that Nicholas and Sarah and all your grandparents share our feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please raise your glasses and drink to the bride and groom?
Thank you, Bill. That was a beautiful collection of words from Bill. We are about to move into the marquee for those of you who are staying for dinner.